Oh, are we? Oh.
Yeah, we're recording.
Hey everybody, it is I, Fork, as you no doubt knew. Welcome back to Friendly Fire, Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm Fork, as I just said like 5 seconds ago. This
is Vince.
and this
Sam
and this
Jam.
We're back. Oh my God, I'm being squeezed. This is actually going to be our last episode of FNAF. We have decided that we
are ready to move on.
We're ready to move on. We've paid, Vince and I have both paid way too much attention outside of this Let's Play series to the game. We know way too much about it. It's not entirely scary for us anymore. I mean, yes, you saw the previous episode, and yes, we do still get scared.
Fuck
but,
you, Wolfie. Yeah.
Damn you, Wolfie.
But it's time to move on.
It's not me, Freddy. It's you.
So for now, we're thinking it's the last episode of the series, but
it's entirely possible that if we're feeling frisky sometime, we may throw out another episode of it and actually finish it. But don't hold your britches in an upright position, all right?
But until then, we're going to talk about the storyline, some of the mechanics, some of the things we liked about it, some things we didn't. So
hit that continue button.
Bam.
All right.
Okay, here we are. We're back.
All right, so Vince is driving, and fittingly, since he is the driver, he's going to start us off on our discussion of the plot of this game.
So I looked really deep into this, and I was surprised at how such a simple game had such a interesting background story.
Oh my God.
Oh, good. Okay.
Wolfie, all right.
One of the things that I found out was the guy who's talking right now actually pre-recorded all of these, and you're listening to them from his supposedly last calls to you through his last week.
Like on this night, you actually hear in the recording him basically getting brutalized by what we assume is probably the wolf, because the wolf is the biggest dick in this game, right?
Well, no, what happens is you'll hear everyone's noise in this. See, there's Freddy. You'll hear the wolf on the door.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, and then you just hear the camera kind of cutting out.
Yep, and what happens, in theory what happens is the doors are broken in, he loses power, and he is stuffed terribly into an animatronic suit in the back, and he's dead.
Doesn't he sort of mention, hey, could you check out those suits for me? Could you see what's the spare parts room or something like that?
In this last one, he says, hey, whenever you have the time, if you could casually just maybe check out the suits in the back. I've always wondered what's in them, and I think I'm gonna find out tonight. And
because my head is probably going to be in one of the heads. You have a good night now. Yeah.
I kind of, I have to appreciate how the guy, it's really weird. He kind of knows what's going to happen. It feels like from the start he's heard the tales, and maybe he's worked here for a couple months even.
Yeah.
Maybe not a couple months, because let's be honest,
Yeah.
who the fuck would do that?
You barely make it through the first week.
But he's worked here for a while, and he's heard the tales, and he knows, and he's experienced it himself. It's kind of weird how he wouldn't say get the fuck out on the first night. Do you have any theories about that? Maybe he's being coerced?
He needs that money.
He does. You do need that money.
That $120 for a week.
Spoiler alert.
But what do you think he wouldn't tell you, hey, quit this fucking job, you dumb piece of poops? And why the fuck don't you quit?
Clearly you need the money.
Clearly. Jesus Christ, I would not want this job.
I think he might not have been allowed to quit until someone took his position. And so he records all these training videos, and maybe they keep it really hush-hush about the people who were shoved into the animatronics in the back.
So do you think that the people who work at Freddy, the people who own Freddy's no?
Yes.
Of course they do.
Oh, of course they do. You're right. That's such a silly question.
I think you're the only person who doesn't know, because they need someone in the back.
Well, by the fourth night, you sure as hell know. But now you've been coerced into a contract and can't leave.
Are you just channeling Markiplier here?
Yeah. No. I
Copyright Markiplier.
Don't sue us, please.
Yeah.
Thanks YouTube for letting me make money.
Oh
my God!
Wow.
Where the fuck did he come from?
You know, we were talking some shit, but I actually kind of got a little bit scared there for a moment.
I
Wow.
legit almost peed my pants.
Wow.
What's cool about Freddy is that he just sort of happens, so, you know, there really isn't anything exciting. I mean, well, everything about him is exciting, but,
I like that nipple.
Them balls.
What?
Eyeballs.
Oh, got you.
All right, Vince, you're still driving. Hit continue again.
I can't talk and drive.
Yeah, you can.
That's dangerous.
I'll
Go
go.
ahead. I guess I'll
Quickly.
Oh,
What's it? Did you hit new
Go,
game?
go. Oh, well, Vince accidentally hit new game, so we're on night 1, so now we can talk about things.
Yeah.
We'll do it. It's chill.
Alright.
Fuck it.
Okay,
Watch
so,
me die.
So his first, this first phone call, he's basically like, hey, everything's new and happy, and don't worry about anything. They just move around. It's totally just a function of their animatronics, and he keeps it very hush-hush about...
Keeps it very professional. Like, they move around. That's no big deal. It's how they work.
Yes, and he mentions in one of his phone calls the bite of...
Don't poop on
42.
floor. Stay close to mom. Don't touch Freddy. Don't hit leave before dark. Rules for safety on that sign.
Yeah.
So that straight up tells us that yes, the people who own this,
Know.
they know. Be gone before dark, and please don't poop on the floor.
Yeah, because Freddy doesn't like to step in poop.
if that's why that explains everything.
Oh my god.
Some fucking kid shat on the floor.
Mind blown, everyone. Mind blown.
We
And now-
solved Freddy's.
I think what I really enjoy about this game is the way it plays on the players and the people around them, their suspicions and their tenseness. But I also really enjoy the thought the creator put into this. There's some
That's
crazy
his
guy
voice.
on Reddit.
That's his voice.
The
On
creators?
the creators on the recordings. That's him.
That's actually some pretty good voice acting. Like, in all honesty, like it's so crazy that this game, looking at it, you would think it took a couple of months to
Children.
make, but like,
There's one guy
when you
in his house.
when you actually like look into everything on it, he probably spent maybe a year actually writing the backstory for this game. He's probably got every single answer to everything, and you can just tell that because of how subtly he hints at everything throughout the game. Like, people had to like go to there are some of the cameras that have screenshot, like that have newspapers in them, and you have to zoom in on the newspapers.
Some guy was so too much time.
Some guy had way too fucking fortune.
But
right?
no, but it's crazy cool, I think. And
It's super cool. In the second one, I am honestly very, very happy for this guy.
yeah.
That he made enough money from this game to go, you know what? I will make that sequel.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for the poor fucking Sapwest that's sitting in this chair in the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know it's not us.
What I'm sincerely hoping is that you get to actually get up and move around. Like,
I feel like that would change the game a lot.
No,
but
it
could be
would.
very interesting.
but and see, okay, this was a good start. I liked having no mobility besides your right and your left and the buttons on the doors. That was great because
It feels like a tablet game.
he can in that way, and he can manipulate you outside of your bounds. But if we were allowed to maybe get up and walk around, or maybe even be one of the animatrons, like that would kind of like
Like, what if the second is like, you need to go and eat this person, but don't be seen?
yeah, like yeah.
And like the cameras have like little red lights when they're looking at them, and you have to freeze.
Yeah.
What if, and this
Could
is
be
going out on a
interesting.
limb here, but since we're doing it, what if it were multiplayer? What if in the second game, one
Shit,
player
would be
who
cray.
says like, oh, I'm gonna play a new game. They hit new game and they hop into it and it creates a server, and then other players
Get to play the
like
animatronics.
they can go to like animatronic
do
mode
that.
and they become the robots. In
Fuck,
that
you guys are
person's
taking
server.
forever.
I would like that
2 a.m.
if
only night
if
one.
that was a specific multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I want story. That's what I really like about this.
Well, like
game.
here's like, I always end up comparing everything to Dark Souls, but it could work like Dark Souls, where you like, but you
Or
could.
Destiny.
Or Destiny. We're like, you could be playing and it wouldn't let you know that it was a player controlling the rabbit. In Demon Souls, there was a boss.
Check what siege jam. Ooh.
In Demon Souls, there was a boss that straight up was controlled by a player. When you got into the boss room, the boss would summon a player, and this is in Dark Souls 2 as well. They summoned a player to help. But in Dark Souls 1, the boss was the player, and it didn't give you a "you have been invaded" message. It just gave you a boss health bar, and it was all based on the player's stats and stuff. They could do something like that, where you just hop in and it's seamless.
Oh, there's the bunny.
It's
Camp
just
5.
seamless, where the player takes over the rabbit.
No,
Nobody gets to be Freddy.
At this point,
No.
yeah. At this point, the creator has to walk a fine line between, okay, do I want more mechanics or do I want more story? And hopefully he's able to balance both, and that's what I'm excited to see. I think.
But he can't give us all the answers.
No, of course not. That's what I enjoy.
The wonderful thing about like horror, what really makes horror work in general, is not knowing what exactly is going on.
And why we've kind of fallen from this game.
Yeah, that's really the reason why. Is because everybody's playing this game, and it's hard to not pay attention to it.
Yeah.
We've all just read way too much into it, where it's.
like
I'm not gonna say it's not frightening, because it can
is.
get fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well,
we're done.
Fun fact. Fun fact. They talk about like Wolfie, and how the bite of 82, Wolfie bit someone's cerebellum off, like the frontal lobe of their brain. And he says in one of the phone calls, he goes, "Yeah, you'd be surprised how much, what you can do without the frontal lobe of your brain." And that made me go, what?
Shit.
And then I looked it up, and you can live without the front half of your brain.
That's
but
cool.
you can't filter anything, and so you just randomly shout things, and and your motor skills are shit. But it was just a really interesting like backstory. Like I had no idea you could live without the front part of your brain.
Oh, good. Wolfie's out already.
Well, I mean, it's not already. It's 4 a.m.
Oh shit! I haven't been paying attention to the
We've
clock.
just been kind of chilling.
Yeah.
That is really interesting.
That's
I really like it.
frightening.
Do you think that might be tied to the guy in the phone calls? Like maybe he was the guy who had his cerebellum bitten off?
No,
Because
some
he
of the
seems-
people in the
he's-
wiki say that it was a girl. They say in the phone call it specifically says it's a girl.
Speaking of
Wiki?
words related to probably young people.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Good
Good intro.
You kind of reminded me of what we've mentioned in a couple of previous episodes of this, where you zoom in on the news articles
Hey,
and
bunny.
it says stuff
Hey,
like,
chicken.
it hints at children being abducted into Freddy's at
And
night
abused. Yeah.
by somebody in a golden Freddy suit.
Mhm.
Do you know anything else about that, or was what I mentioned pretty much it?
Yes, they think that it happened. The word is that it happened during Freddy's hours, business hours, and that he would lure them, like they're all with their family and hanging out and friend stuff, and then this golden Freddy would come out and you're, "Hello, kids," and then he would lure them to the back room where all the spare animatronic parts are, and he would either abuse them or whatever, and then they disappeared mysteriously. But later on, and still to today, they get tons of complaints by health inspectors and other people of that sort that say there's dried mucus where the noses are, and there's blood weeping out of like all the other places, and they complain about the smell mostly, but the
Hey, we did! Look at that! We beat night 1, you guys.
oh wow.
And the creator confirms this.
Yeah,
They
no, well,
won.
it's in an article.
All right, hold on a
Oh
second.
my God.
Hold on a second. I feel like loading screen.
Yeah.
I'm curious about this. Continue. So the mucus and tears of blood, or
Yeah.
it's weeping.
Like there's blood around where the eyes are, and
the animatronics?
Yeah, of the
But
animatronics,
if you
and they
see-
smell. They
Yeah.
smell really bad. But he says, well, you know, if I had a fursuit and I hadn't taken a bath in 10 years, I would probably smell too. Har har har. But the smell that is described in the news article is like this, like dead bodies. Like dead bodies.
So that's what really hints at people being stuffed
into the animal. That's why
we never actually like see out of the view. We just
Well, we can't really.
we can't because we die, but we do like it's strongly hinted that they're shoving us in.
Yeah, he says
Speaking of,
that.
by the way, hold on, before I forget, the sign that says like it's got all the rules for safety and it says "Stay with Mom." Do you think that may have been added after the Golden Freddy had his heyday? Like
Yes.
they found
Killer,
out
you mean?
they
Yeah.
found out that he was doing this. It was like stay with your fucking mothers.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking Chuck E. Cheese hell
Chuck E. Cheese hell.
doesn't handle that situation? It's a fucking Golden Freddy suit. Do you think I feel like they may have been involved with it at this point?
They might have overlooked one of their employees. Like, been like, oh, he's
to
just...
keep them in business.
Oh, no, he's just a weird guy. He works for cheap, though. Yeah, he's just, he likes to wear the Golden Freddy suit, whatever.
They
yeah.
might have been just like a shitty company.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
No.
Wow,
okay.
that was quick.
Hello?
I'm not even watching the fucking screen
know.
right now.
Yeah.
Jam's just having a fucking good old time.
I want to know more about this fucking cupcake.
I'm saying.
Lord eyeballs. I don't think that's a cupcake.
It's got a little,
It's got a little
candle in it.
candle.
What if that's you?
Oh god.
What if it's the company watching
No,
what the
still is.
animatronics do to you?
Mm.
Okay, that implies a whole lot at that point.
But,
What if this is all a research program from SCP?
dunno.
Okay, he wants to eat.
Let's eat. So that's the back room where all the
Yeah.
extra spare mechanical parts are, and that
Yeah.
brings me back to my point. He hints that the animatronics think you are a metal skeleton without a suit,
Suit on, yeah.
and that they want to put because that's not allowed at Freddy's,
Take care of the
is what he
door.
said. That's
Still
not
there.
that's
Wow,
not
fuck
allowed.
you, Rabbit.
So
So,
you
hold on.
need to be.
So the animatrons think that you, the player, are missing your suit,
Yeah,
and
Yes.
that's not okay.
No, it's not.
Yo, I got a fake ID though. Yeah. 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 Yo. Two step with me. Two step with me. One. Here comes the two to the three to the four. Everybody jump out on the dance floor. Baby girl asked to go, she want more. Let's see a groupie and I ain't even on tour. Baby, cause she heard